Okay, guys. Well, welcome to another fantastic review, and I have Josh and Jeff back. Say hi to the camera.
Hello, everybody.
Say
Hello,
hi.
camera.
And yeah, we saw one of the biggest anticipated films of this winter, the Aquaman, or that's something like how my mom would say it. Like, have you seen the Aquaman? This is our review of Aquaman. So, Josh, I'm going to throw it over to you. What are your initial thoughts?
I think we have very seriously underrated James Wan as a director. I think there's a lot going on visually with this movie, let alone like the fantasy. There's a lot of really interesting camera tricks that I would not have initially thought of when pulling like a DC crazy underwater fantasy movie. I mean, there's fights in here that I think were better than the finale, just in terms of like really interesting, quick camera moves and stuff that I can't remember from film class. But yeah, really
get out your glossary. Get out your film class glossary.
Dolly shot. No.
Dolly shot. That's what all James Wan was doing. He was like, dolly shot, dolly shot. No, there were some, I mean, I gotta agree, there were some amazing visuals, and I gotta also agree, like, they kind of shot a big load throughout the movie when it came to visuals, and then when it came to the end boss fight, it was kind of like depleted. Yeah, they were like, ooh, okay, let's just get this boss fight over with. But
I will jump on, cinematically, it's a masterpiece. No, cinematically, like, every shot is amazing. There's no bad shots. I looked for them. The CGI, there should be more CGI. I mean, there's barely any. No, like, there's so much.
God.
There's so much CGI, but he pulls off a lot of great camera moves.
Yeah.
The movie falls short in the script. So, like, if it had a completely different script, you would have this beautiful cinematography and an actual good movie. But what you have is a really bad movie that looks really pretty, and that's kind of sad.
To me, I would sum it up as just a beautiful mess. That's
really
what it is. That's what it should be called. It should be called Aquaman : Beautiful Mess, because it's just like I'm still processing it, and it's a long movie too.
It's way too long.
Way too long. Like, I remember
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
And they were referencing stuff like at the end of the movie that I was like, oh my god, like that was in the same movie that we just watched. It was that long ago.
We will try to avoid spoilers.
But I don't know. Let's not avoid. I mean, if you want to talk about
I'm going to try to avoid spoilers. But there are specific moments where I leaned over to you and I went, Matrix Revolutions, Kill Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one more that it was like
there's a lot.
The Michael Bay hero shot. The Michael Bay hero shot will live forever.
Well, I feel like that was something that the studio wanted James Wan to do obligatory.
Yes.
Like, it was because that even seemed kind of soulless at the same time.
Like, early on, it almost felt like a joke.
It did.
Like you would get this crazy hero shot with like a rock guitar riff almost.
That was hysterical. I love that.
But it wasn't supposed to be.
But here's the thing, like, the same guy who composed this, like, I'm big on movie scores, but like the same guy who composed this also did the score to Wonder Woman, which was great.
Right.
Here it's all over the place.
Yeah,
the score is just because it's like one moment it's symphonic, and then the other moment is kind of like this cool melodic kind of EDM stuff, which that kind of blended in well with that. But it was like the rock all of a sudden, like the
There's at least 5 hero shot moments that had like rock music backings. There's at least 5 instances where perfectly normal scenes had explosions disrupt the scene just to advance the plot. And there's literally like character beats that are just there for exposition.
Like what?
Like the first time you see Hera, she literally shows up to explain the plot.
Mira?
Mira,
yeah. Which here's the thing.
Disillusioned.
I thought that they knew each other in Justice League and where they don't.
Yeah,
like
they
she's
don't
literally
at
at one point he's like, "What's your name?" And I'm like, "You don't know her name?"
And she just literally lays the plot out, like beat for beat, and like this is what. And then the movie.
I'm Queen Exposition.
And then it turns into Tomb Raider. It turns into like Indiana Jones meets Tomb Raider.
There are so many tonal shifts. Like, it literally goes, and you know what? I'm gonna spoil some stuff here. From like King Orm, played by Patrick Wilson,
who does not age, by the way.
Who does not age, and he is hamming it up. He is loving the script.
He's chewing the scenery.
Oh, he's chewing the scenery. It's great. Willem Dafoe's a little, underwhelmed, but he's kind of playing a subservient role, But yeah, like, Patrick Wilson was great. He was just kind of like chewing the scenery and eating it up. But there'd be like a scene where, he murders this king of this other kingdom, and then he goes up and is like, "Hey, little girl,
Now that you're the queen,
do you want to lead this army, little queen girl?" And then it'll jump from that to them having like desert adventures,
right?
and it's
there was like a whole weird, like in the middle of the film, there was like a romantic comedy beat.
Oh.
Like they were in Italy.
They
and
played Roy Orbison.
They were playing Roy Orbison. It looked like
They
a goddamn
played-
Nutella commercial. or
I know
something.
it did. It was like, "Have you tried?"
yeah, like little
I-
kid. She's making water fish
Yeah,
for kids.
she's making waterfish. She's like getting the flowers and smelling them, and like the wind is rustling through her
what
hair.
movie is this?
Like, have you tried Lumera today?
Like, what movie is
I-
this?
Like, it was so confused. I don't know, but go on what you were saying.
I was going to say that specifically the car doesn't like
Again,
my
they
comments.
agree. No, but go on.
There was a singular notion I kept thinking to myself that this was like a film from the 90s with an extremely massive budget, because I kept thinking to myself, this feels at parts like a really long tied together episode of Hercules or Xena
Yeah.
that's in the ocean with a bazillion-dollar budget.
Oh.
And then the thing that, well, we were talking about the score. The thing that made me think of that is the bit when they're in the desert and there's little like muted plucking in while they're talking, and I don't know what the word. That kind of like staccato playing you hear in between the talking beats. I don't. And
It's like the
it
movie was
sounds-
afraid to be silent.
and it's that kind of staccato, kind of muted violin playing or whatever that sounds like something from a '90s sitcom.
No,
or like,
yeah,
you see
I
where
know
I'm going
exactly
with
what
this.
you mean. Yeah, but I, like to get back to the visuals, like it was a little busy at first, but I was blown away because I mean, like, what was the last DC movie we all saw? Like Justice League, was that the last
I think,
DC release?
I saw Justice League on a plane. What does
Yeah,
that
I
tell
wanna
you?
say
But still, it was such a step up from the graphics and
Well, and
animation
it's
in
funny that you
Justice
mentioned
League.
that, because honestly, this has no interest in being like part of the DC universe.
Yeah.
No,
There's not a single element.
Yeah, there's not a single cameo of any other
Even
superheroes,
the,
so
like,
don't worry.
post-credit sequence is just for like Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
Like, it
Yeah.
has no relevance
Which,
to DC.
yeah, you kind of referenced something about. So yeah, there's not one but two bad guys in this movie. King Orm is the main baddie, and then there is
My man, Black Manta.
Black Panther. Yeah, no, but
It
Black
is the
Manta.
worst origin story
The
I've
worst.
seen on film.
It was so telegraphed, that origin story. It was like whenever his dad showed him. Like, first off, he's like a pirate, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a bad guy to start.
What pirates have dads?
And
Like,
not only
not only that, but like, loving and nurturing pirate dads.
Right,
Like
and then
maybe in like funny Pirates of the Caribbean, but in like he's like an actual like I'm murdering people pirate.
Who spout lines like, "Don't you dare die!" and how could you? That actor, I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I'm sure we could Google it.
I'm sure he's done better in other
but
roles.
He is terrible.
He was not
in
good. I was hoping the dad would be Black
He
Manta
is
because he was a better actor.
terrible in this. He was just like this short of saying like always bet on black. I swear to God. Like, it was so like, and then they I don't even know why the bad guy was in the film, to be honest with you, because even when he comes back, he serves no actual purpose.
And he gets his ass
And
kicked
he gets
twice.
His ass kicked.
Like there should be a point where like he almost bests Aquaman and then something intervenes.
Every time there's a quiet moment, an explosion has to happen. And he was one of the explosions.
He was one of the explosions, but I was hoping that, like maybe there would be a big boss fight and then like maybe King Orm or some other element would come and like, you're like, I'll get you next time, Aquaman. But no, he gets his ass kicked twice.
was completely-
And then he's like, I'm going to get revenge. He's like, dude, you got your ass kicked twice. Like the odds are not for you.
I'll give credit to the film. Aquaman gets his ass beat a lot.
Yeah.
He does.
Which was nice because like they kind of made him like they started the film like he was untouchable, and then they clearly showed you he wasn't.
No,
but
yeah.
then like for every like good thing it does, you have these like crazy like logic lapses. Like why are they taking a boat to anywhere? Because like they could swim like,
Faster than the boat.
Any boat could travel.
With the way that some of the boats were designed, I got flashbacks of Phantom Menace, like when they, like the gondola stuff. I just got flashbacks.
And it was just
flashbacks
so
from
weird.
that.
Like, you know what's funny? Like the whole like stealing from movies, Pitch Black. That boat sequence was straight out of Pitch Black.
I know, but that was beautiful. That was actually beautifully
Again,
shot.
visually, the movie was fantastic, and he had some camera moves that were great. But there was nothing about the film that felt like nothing mattered. It was all just a jumbled mess.
It was a very jumbled and like. It was just so much on the senses. Like, it was just a lot shoved into a little.
In 3D, it might be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it probably in 3D, but like another thing that it was hard for me to get used to, like you mentioned, was the dialogue, because the movie began and, you know, like the dialogue when they were on the surface, it was, you know, it was kind of like normal.
But, like right off the bat, he delivered like the permission to come aboard, like the cheesy like one-liner, and then like followed that up with like, what happened on the boat? Like he killed something happened like ridiculous, and it was almost like, is this a comedy? Oh, he walked through the smoke in slow motion with the guitar riff going. Yeah, and I'm like, what? Like, and where are we going?
Like, okay, Tony Stark.
Yeah,
like, why you have like the cool guitar riff?
And here's the thing: while we're talking about that specific slow motion shot at the beginning, that kind of frame cut slow mo that you would see on a normal camera is not used in the rest of the film. The rest is high def, extremely high density frame rate slow mo, the kind you see in expensive films with expensive cameras. But I don't know whether they just shot that first slow mo, or it had to have been a regular shot that they then slowed down in post in order to get the music beat.
Or it was a purposeful like tribute to like Kurt Russell, circa like Escape.
But even like that camera shot was kind of grainy, because I noticed that too. It was grainy.
It was actually on film.
And it was grainy and choppy, and he must have like shot it on his Nokia or something.
Yeah, like it was like it was shot on film. Like actually, it would have been an actual 35 millimeter camera.
It was like, I want to seem like an auteur for 3 seconds.
And
here we go.
You know what? There was a ton of CGI, but there was a lot of bad CGI. I actually felt like they took a nap. A lot of times when they would be like standing,
I felt like taking a nap. Yeah. This movie was long.
When they would be standing and there'd be some like random background that just didn't look good. Like, you know what I mean?
If you can't think of a specific example,
when they're on the boat, actually, like the water,
background,
the background of the sky with the water, it just looked like so. Like you have this like really tacky CGI, and then like they followed up with like a beautiful sequence.
And plus, did you like Aquaman's parents, the wax figures of Aquaman's parents?
I was actually going to say, what I find really funny is that his parents are, of course, Nicole Kidman and Jango Fett from Star Wars.
Yes, and, Jango Fett, who is still playing Jango Fett in this film. It's like, dude, you know you're a different character,
like
right?
On a quest to avoid spoilers, you don't cast Nicole Kidman and then like kill her in the first 5 minutes of a movie because she's effing Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
So like the minute you see her in that role, you're like,
and they killed her, and we're like, yeah,
right.
Sure,
like unless this is Scream, where they're pulling the old Drew Barrymore, like we could kill anybody we want deal. You don't pay Nicole Kidman that kind of money,
but it's
then offer in the first 5 minutes.
It's almost hilarious because she's like 10,000% hotter than him. I mean, granted, I'm trying to remember the actor's name. I think his last name is also Morrison. No?
Yeah, it's the same.
Morrison.
I saw him at the last family reunion.
He got like way out of his like league.
No, yeah, his name's like Tamara Morrison. Yeah. So it was a little weird seeing them both together, because it's like, you know, Jason Momoa's a good-looking dude, Nicole Kidman's a gorgeous woman, and then like the dad, you know.
Did they do some de-aging for the first part of the film?
That's what I was saying.
It was really bad though. Like he looked kind of waxy. Like it.
That's what I was saying. Like the wax figures.
Yeah. It wasn't like the. I'm sorry. It wasn't like the Marvel de-aging where you're like, damn, like that looks like a young.
Yeah, like there's a couple of Marvel de-aging things where it did kind of fall into uncanny valley, but yeah, like it got better. But I mean, this was obviously fine pun, Justice League's better than the Henry Cavill like clearly they had a lot more time to spend on this.
Yeah. All right, so
and while I'm at the de-aging thing, I'm sorry, young Willem Dafoe, when they have the flashbacks with Dafoe training Arthur, and it's just like, I know what Willem Dafoe looks like. He's pointy faced, super elf man.
You didn't like his Halloween spirit mask?
I also had they came up with creative reasons why there wouldn't be water in the underwater part of the world. Like we have like an air bubble, so like no fish get in. That way we could talk normally.
I know, it's almost like they should have just stared at the camera as soon as they said that. No, but the thing that it took me a while to get used to was like the Shakespearean underwater dialogue, because like on the surface, everyone, there's cheesy dialogue and cheesy lines,
but it was like,
but everyone talks normal. Everyone talks normal like we are. But then it was like down below, it was like, I doth bequeath. He was like, you're in the ocean,
it was
okay?
Like the witch.
You shall
It's like, I will become, and then like they had, King Orm is looking for this title, and we're like, oh, and like
you will inherit the role of Sea Master.
Yeah, like Ocean Master. It's like that sounds like
Master, that's it.
like a product that I would find on QVC. like, have you tried the new Ocean Master?
And I still take exception to the fact that the guys had to wear masks filled with water to survive on land, but then they kept wearing those masks underwater.
But those suits were cool. They were like Halo.
I didn't even think about that.
It was like,
wow. Wow.
It was like the Abyss when Ed Harris has to like breathe underwater to go down.
Yeah.
Right, but imagine if he just said, "I'm gonna leave this thing on all the time."
Dude, I would. Those are badass, like Halo-looking suits, man.
I kept saying to my brother, is this our favorite video game?
You were laughing quite a bit during
I will say there
was even I think there were like subtitles of areas.
Yeah, there were subtitles of areas that came up that you laughed at. Why did you do that?
Okay. Should I say this? Should I avoid the spoiler?
No, just say it.
There was one part that's like the hidden level in this video game.
Yeah.
That's like the secret ocean at the Earth's core.
Right.
And I'm like, holy crap, they're getting into Hollow Earth territory.
It was also very reminiscent.
There's dinosaurs.
It was very reminiscent of Jurassic.
There's freaking dinosaurs.
Spared no expense.
And I'm sorry, that just like it's
Well, they did spare an expense on the script.
And I'm sorry, but that just killed me.
Yes.
Because it was like I thought we were at peak silliness where it's like we have to fight an army of frickin' like sea critter people and then go through a electrified typhoon inside the ocean. And which somehow shoots you into a portal into the center of the Earth. And it was amazing.
And there were Gallimimus on the other side.
And I loved it. I loved
it was exhausting and exciting at the same time.
I'm kind of afraid we're doing a repeat of Overlord because I loved this movie. It was hilarious and silly.
At one point, Mercer said, "This is so bad, it's good."
I know, like it came out the other side. Like I eventually started liking it, but in the beginning, like especially because you leaned over to me, it's like, "Ooh," you literally said like, "We're in for a long one," and this was like not even 10 minutes.
Like we're in trouble already.
Yeah. You said like, and I was like, dude, like you're not even giving it like 30 minutes. Like you're already tapping out. But it got better. Like I think once it was either like I got used to the dialogue or the hokiness of the dialogue kind of died down. But I got used to it. I started liking it.
I wouldn't say I hated it. Like that's what's funny. Like I don't know if I'd watch it again, but I wouldn't say I hated it.
I'd watch it.
It was like it was amusing.
So
this is a good.
Let's get to the brunt of it. Where do we put it in the DC chain?
Better.
No, but better than what? Where would you put this thing?
Well, definitely better than Batman vs Superman.
Correct.
Better than Man of Steel.
Correct.
Where does it rank against the 1966 Batman movie starring Adam West and Burt?
Oh man, about equal. I'm gonna say about equal.
I was expecting like a few punches to be like pow and biff and bam.
Wonder Woman still holds the title.
Wonder Woman's still number one as top best DC movie.
And then this would probably comfortably fit in the top of the rest of the pack.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
easily.
But at the same time, if you never watch this movie, it would not change the DC universe at all for you.
No.
Because it means nothing to it at all.
Here's one quick little thing that I think will serve as the best metaphor for the film. In the different shots between where it's mostly live action with, the actual actors wearing armor versus the CG, we're still not at the point where the line is seamless. We still are at the point where you can tell, okay, that's where it's a real shot now and it looks way better than the CG. Even though I enjoyed myself quite well during the CG scenes, the best fights, in my opinion,
the practical ones.
Exactly. The best fights are the ones at the beginning where it's Nicole Kidman whooping the crap out of a bunch of sea troopers, and the one in Sicily where they destroy my ancestors' home.
I will be honest, that Sicily sequence was fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's really good at shooting action and not having you get lost.
Yeah.
You can track it the whole time.
There's great transitions.
There's great transitions. There's great trick shots, and there's not a million edits. It's not that heavily edited ridiculous thing. Like it's pretty fluid.
We've seen some good because Josh and I saw Bumblebee yesterday, but both movies had really good, easy to follow action scenes, which that's what I will give this movie definitely a plus with action scenes. Not only just fighting, but also, like the chase scenes and everything like that.
I never felt lost.
Yeah,
which is big.
Which there's definitely been, like Zack Snyder, like even though he's good with some scenes, there were definitely some convoluted ones where someone would fly off screen and the camera would zoom in real fast,
or
and it would
like
be kind of
flip upside down.
Yeah, flip
and then
upside.
You're
Yeah,
disoriented.
Yeah,
there wasn't much of this.
Yeah, this was very seamless, and like he said, like I know that we're starting to repeat ourselves, so but again, like I ended up liking it. I don't know what did you like about it, Josh? Since I think you might be the most enthused out of it.
Well, I just liked that it went full on aesthetically into the kind of ridiculousness of its mythology. Because let's face it, Aquaman, until like this year, maybe the last couple years with Justice League, was not a character anyone really cared about.
No.
And I
He
don't.
was the butt of a joke, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that being said, even with Aquaman as a joke, they took the parts that were silly, but leaned in so that you have, like you have on the poster, it's like he's wearing gold armor with green gauntlets, but damn, does that armor shine.
With Peter Griffin pants.
With Peter Griffin pants.
I will go on record and say I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It entertained me. There's a lot of bad things to go with a lot of good things. I would give it like a firm, like, I don't know if I'd run out and buy it, but like if it was on HBO, I don't know if I'd turn it off.
To me, I don't know where to exactly fall because for some reason, I think I embraced the craziness. I think I really did end up liking this movie. Like I don't know.
All the money's on the screen for number one.
All the money is on the screen. But yeah, I liked it. I think it just again embraced the crazy, and it was just so involved and surrounding you. I don't know. It's still a lot of information to process.
It was fun. That's the word I can give it. It was
fun.
fun.
It
felt
fun
a
and
little
silly.
long, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It embraced the cheesiness. It was crazy, and again, like a beautiful mess. Like if you're not a comic book fan, especially not a comic book movie fan, I would not recommend it. And if you are just like the sort of fantasy fan, and you like science fiction, this movie kind of has a little of everything. So I would definitely recommend that. I don't know. Do you guys have any other thoughts?
I feel like I'm good. I'm good with that or something.
Okay, all right. So
I think this is a good drinking game movie.
Coming soon. The rules of the drinking game.
Maybe I should start my own column on that.
That might be the next review.
But anyway, so let's give a star rating out of 5.
I would give it a 2 out of 5 to be
2 out of 5
to be blunt.
3.5.
Ooh.
Oh wow!
That's up there.
Okay, I'm kind of gonna side with Josh this time. I'm gonna be the Benedict Arnold and betray you, unlike the Overlord review. But I'm also gonna give it I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 as well. Solid for me. But if you're like a non-superhero fan, I would say 2.5.
That's like a caveat 3 out of 5.
There's just so much going on, and I think there's enough on the screen to entertain you. It definitely did not bore me at any points, but. Yeah, but anyway, guys, that is our review. Any last things you guys want to say?
Black Manta forever.
It needed
Manta
the bridge
forever.
from Last of the Mohicans.
It did need. I give it 3 out of 5 bridges from Last of the Mohicans. But anyway, guys, check us out on the AF1 Media page, and also, subscribe to the YouTube and everything like that. I'll check you guys later.
Bye.
Bye. AF1.
AF1.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
And then like 83 minutes later.
Yeah.